Guys, welcome to this course of Python where we will going to cover the about the operators. Okay, where we will going to teach you what are operators, what are arithmetic operators, floor division and modules, power operators, comparison, assignment operators, logical operators, identity and membership operators, operators, precedence. Okay, so many of the concepts we have covered inside this course. Okay, so you can just see everything we will going to cover practically. Okay, and you will really going to enjoy this free course. Okay, so make sure you watch this free course from starting to end if you really want to learn about operators in Python in detail. Okay, now guys, we will go with the operators in more detail. Okay, now before we just proceed further, I just want to tell you that this is a part 2 of the course. Okay, so in case, let's say, if you don't know about the part 1, so you can just search for here Kuku courses. Here just go to kukucourses.com, and once you go here, just you can just click on the extras, click on the blocks here, and you can just search here learn to code Python. Click on search button. Okay, and you will see this particular tutorial, learn to code Python for beginners. Okay, so basically we have divided this course into a multiple parts, right? So the first part, you can see learn to code with Python. Okay, so in this first, if you tap on it, so this is a part 1 where we taught you about the basics, like how to set up the Python with Visual Studio Code. Okay, so because of that, you can see we have set up each and everything. So everything has been covered in this course, like variable, data types, input, f string, list, operators. Okay, in basics, so each of the thing has been covered over here. Now this will be the guide related to the part 2, which is all about the operators in very detail. So here you can see we will going to cover the part 2, that is the operator. So make sure that you first go ahead and watch the part 1 if you haven't till now watch it. So make sure you watch it, then only proceed further. Then in part 1 we have covered this all things. Okay, now we will going to start with part 2, which is related to operators in detail. Okay, so if you have watched part 1, so let's continue it. So what I will going to do is that I will click outside here. I will click on the folder and I will just going to create a new folder which is operators. Okay, I will click on enter, and here I will going to create the file. Let's say basics.py, right? Wait, let me just close the other files. Okay, okay. Now what is operators? So guys, operators are nothing. It's like uh, operators. If I just talk about operators, so it helps you to do the calculations. So if you want to do the calculations in Python, then in such case we use the operators. Like you might have done the mathematics, okay, when you were a child, like plus, minus, divide. So all these things comes under the operators, and here you can also see the notes that operators are the symbols used to perform operations on values and variables. Think of them like a calculator button. They help you do maths, compare values, and much more. So this is what the operators are in general. Okay, so now guys, let's cover the arithmetic operators. Now what is this? Okay, so for example, let's say if I just go ahead and create a new file, let's say you know arithmetic operators.py. Okay, so wait, let's create it. Okay, now what is this arithmetic operator? So guys, this type of operators contains plus, minus, multiplication, division. Also we have this floor division and modulus. We will going to talk about it. Let's first quickly cover it. Okay, by the way, we have also covered this earlier as well, but let's quickly do this. Okay, so here what happen is that we can create, let's say, some variable, and let's say in the x variable I can put some, let's say, value inside it. Let's say 10. Okay, and let's say in y I put, let's say, value, let's say 2. Okay, simple. Now what we can do with these values, so either you can just do like this result, you can just write like this result equals to, let's say, x, and then you can add whatever variable, let's say y. Okay, simple, nothing complicated. Now you can print, let's say, result like this. Now if you run the application, you can see it will just going to print 12. So result equals to x plus y. So 10 plus 2 is 12. And same you can just do like this. Let's say minus, if you do, let's run the application, it will be 8. 10 minus 2 is 8. And same you can just do for the multiplication. Let's click on the enter button. So you can see 10 into 2. 10 into 2 is what? 20. So this is what it is printing over here. And same, let's say you want to divide it. Let's say, so I will divide 10 divided by 2. Let's say it will be 5. Okay. So this is very interesting, right? And now you can see that we are getting this in the decimal, but let's say I want it to be let's say in the form of, I can say, integer. Okay, so I will just going to write here integer with, let's open the bracket, and I will just going to write here integer, close the bracket like this. Now if you even print it, so it will just going to give you the value 5. Okay, so make sure that you remember the previous topics which we have covered till now, right? And this is how it works. Okay, and another thing is that you can also write directly like this. For example, let's say I can just go over here, and let's say you can just write like this print, let's say you can say like x plus y. So this is how it will work. You can just copy, paste here like this. Okay, and let's say this time I will go with the minus, this time let's say I will just go with the multiplication, this time I will go with the division like this. And let's say if you clear it up and if you run the application, so you can see this is how it will going to print for you. So this is very basic, that is known as arithmetic, operators, where we just do basic mathematics like plus, minus, and so on. And that is what we have also covered in the notes, so you will going to get the idea about it. Okay, now guys, we will also going to cover floor division and modulus. Now what is this? So see, if we just talk about this two concept, okay, so guys, this double hash basically means the floor division, and this percentage type of a sign in Python, it is not percentage, it's modulus. Now what does this mean? So see, let's say if you divide, let's say 7 by 2, so 3 2s are, so you 2 to the 3 6, and then you will do minus. So this is how we do division. So guys, at the top, whatever we will going to left, okay, that will be considered as a floor division, and the remainder we will say it as a modulus. So very simple. Okay, so basically this modulus will going to give you the remainder after the division. Okay, so like here we have 1, so this 1 will be considered as a modulus because it is remainder is the 1. Okay, so you can say in the Python modulus. And whatever we have here, okay, so you can also see in the notes written only the whole number part. Okay, that is the floor division at the top. So similarly, if you just divide 5 divided by 2 to 2 to the 4 minus 1, so here this 2 will be considered as a floor division and this 1 will be modulus. Okay, so this is very simple to apply. So like here we have x equals to 10, y equals to 2. Now let's say similarly you can just write like this. So suppose if I just comment them, okay, let's say if I just go ahead and wait, let's remove it. Now let's say if I want the result equals to, let's say, x modulus, let's say y. Okay, Now let's say if I print the result like this, let's first clear the terminal. Let's run the application and you can see 5. Now 10 divided by 2, the modulus, you can see it will be, or even if you just go ahead and let's say if you just go ahead with the 7, okay, 7, let's divide it by 2. Let's say if we run the application, you will going to notice it will just going to give 3. So this 3 will be floor division, and this is what we told you. And let's say if we just go ahead and put it like, let's say modulus the percentage sign here, so it will just going to give you the reminder like this. So you can see reminder is 1 here as well, so that will be considered as a okay. And same we have this concept, right? Like we can directly say like print, let's say x modulus, let's say y. So even you can just do like this as well, like we have done in the previous case as well. And here you can just let's say put the percentage like this, okay. So you can also print it this way, like 3 and 1. Okay, so 3 is basically the floor division which we get at the top while dividing, and 1 is the reminder. Okay, so 7 divided by 2, so we are saying that when we divide 7 modulus 2, it will going to give us the reminder, so reminder is 1, right? So this is how easy it is. Now guys, we will going to go with the, let's say, floor division. Okay, uh, so sorry, the exponential, or you can say it like a power dot py. Now let's say we create some, let's say, value, let's say a equals to, let's say 2, and let's say b equals to, let's say 2. Now let's say if I put a 2 times asterisk sign b, so what will going to happen? Okay, so first you can just put it, let's say, inside some variable. Let's say I put it inside, let's say power equals to, okay, and let's say if I print the power like this, let's run the application, you can see 2 to the power 4. So basically what happened is that, let's say if, when we are talking about this exponential, okay, or you can say it like a power, so when we put 2 to the power 4, right? So 2 you write 4 times, 1 2 3 4, so 2 to the 4, this 2 to the 4, so 2 times 4, it will be 16. So let's say if I just go ahead and in the b, let's say if I put, let's say 4, and if I run the application, you can see we will going to get 16. So 2 is basically getting multiplied 4 times, so 2 4 times, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, right? So like that. So that is what it is known as 2 to the power 4. Okay, and you can also create some sort of application. For example, let's say I create, let's create, let's say to application. For example, let's say if I just go here and let's input, okay, let's say enter first number like this, and let's say I want it to be strictly the number. Okay, so what I will going to do, let's convert here int, sorry, int here. Let's close this up like this. Let's copy this same input one, let's paste it over here, and this time I will just go here and put, let's say, second number. Okay, now user will basically going to put their first name, then the second name, second number, sorry, first number and second number. And what we want is that it should basically get multi that is the power. Okay, so for example, let's say I will just going to say okay, let's say bigger, okay, equals to, let's say uh, 2 to the power, let's say a power b. Let's say if I can make it print like, let's say I can print let's say like this, okay, my let's say uh, brother is, let's say uh, my brother is older than me uh, this times. Okay, so in the curly brackets I can just put bigger times like this. Okay, now as you can see that we need to make it more dynamic, so you need to add f here. Remember the f string concept, you can see like this. So let's say if we run the application now, so it will ask okay, let's see what's the problem. Okay, uh, line 1 invalid. Wait, let me see what's the problem we have here. Okay, sorry, let's just put the int, at the starting. Okay, like this. Now it will going to get fixed. Sorry, let's copy this, let's paste it here. Second, okay, let's clear it up. Let's run the application. It will ask me for the first number. Let's say I put, let's say 3, let's say 2. Now click on enter and you can see my brother is older than me 9 times, something like that. Okay, this is just the program, but this is how you can utilize it. Okay, a very interesting part. So if you notice that we are using all the concepts which we have earlier discussed with you guys. Okay, the same concept we are trying to apply everywhere, and I am applying it intentionally. I am again and again applying those concepts, so in case you get better and better, okay, while practicing it. Okay, leave, but hope you guys have somehow got a good understanding about what is this power concept in the operators. Okay, so now guys, just make sure that whatever we are teaching, like arithmetic operators, we have covered the modulus power operators. So all these notes we have given you so that you will going to get more idea about it. Okay, now let's cover about the comparison operators. Now what is this? So guys, this comparison operators will going to give you the result only in the true or false. Okay, so what happened here is that we have few operators, like let's say equals to. That means both the value are equal with each other. Okay, if yes, it will be true, otherwise false. For example, let's say if I just create a new file, okay, let's put it as a comparison operators. Okay, for example, I go here, let's paste it over here. Let's say comparison uh, .py. Okay, now let's say if I just go ahead and create a value, let's say a equals to 50, let's say b equals to 52. Okay, now let's say I want to know that whether the values are equal with each other. So suppose if I print, let's say if I say it like this, a equals to let's say b, is both a and b both are equal? Let's clear it up. It will say true. Now let's say if I put, let's say 5. Okay, so you can see now both are not equal. A is not equals to b because earlier both are 50, so it said true because both are equal with each other. Now a value is 50, b value is 5, so we all know that it's not equal, so it will show you the false, right? So this is what it is. Now we have this not equals to. Okay, now for example here what happened is that like it is just opposite of this first one. Okay, so um, let's say if I go ahead here and let's say if I put maybe this exclamation word, now this will say that the values are not equal. Okay, this is what this means. So we already know that 50 and this 5 both are not equal with each other, so it will show you true. Why? Because this particular mark which you see here, Okay, this exclamation mark means that values are not true. Okay, like in this case it means that both the values are true, but this means both values are not true. So of course 50 and 5 both are not true, but let's say if I go ahead here and put, let's say, 50 again, now it will show us false, right? So this is what it will going to do. And now we have this greater than. So let's say if is A greater than, let's say, B. Let's say if I put here, let's say 50 and 5. So we all know that A value is 50 and B value is 5. Obviously 50 is greater than B. So if you just go ahead here, so it will say true. Okay, but let's say now if I put 50 here, so now both are equal, so it will show false. And also guys, you can use two things. Okay, for example, let's say greater than, we can also make it greater than equals to. Okay, for example, I can also put like greater than equals to, sorry. Now what I want is that if the values could be, let's say, greater than, so that's okay, or even if it's being equal with each other, so that possibility we will also going to accept, right? So let's say if I run it, so you can see it's showing true, because we know that okay, A is not greater than B. Okay, so it's saying A is greater than B, so we already know that that A is not greater than B, because both value are 50, both are equal with each other, so it should show false, right? But why still it show true? Because we have also include equals to. We have also said okay, even if A is not greater than B, so if A is, let's say, greater, let's say A and B both are equal, then also you can show as a if A and B both are equal, then also it will be okay. So that's the reason it has shown you true. Okay, so we have set two condition here. First is either it should be greater than A should be greater than B, or A equals to B. So we have A equals to B. Now let's say if I put here, let's say 500. Okay, sorry, 500. Okay, now let's see what will going to happen. If you run the application, now it will show false, because here you can see the condition A is not, because see, we want that A should be greater than B. So here we can see A value is 50, B value is 500. Now we all know that A is obviously, in this case, it's less than B. So this first condition is false, of course, and also A is not equals to B. So that's the reason it's shown false. And the same concept we have as the opposite. Now let's say if I put, let's say, less than, for example, let's say we already know that A is less than B. We are saying that if A is less than B, so we already know that A value is 50, B value is 500. So we already know that A value is 50, which is obviously less than 500. So now what will show? It will show true, because that value is satisfied, right? And also let's say if I put here, let's say now again equals to here, again it will show us true, because we set two conditions here, that A should be either less than B, or A should be equals to B. So in both the case both are equal, so it has showed us true. So this is the concept of comparison operators. Okay, and this is how both of them works. And by the way, if you are not satisfied, so you can always take the help of ChatGPT over here, and you can say explain me, let's say, explain me comparison operators in, let's say, very detail, and it will just going to give you more examples. Okay, like so we have already taught you that it will show you in the true or false. Okay, so we have few things like equals to, not equals to, okay, greater than, less than. So you can also utilize the chat gpt, and you can say when you go with more details, so it will just going to give you with more examples, so even you can just take the help of it. But for now, I suppose that this is sufficient for you to understand the comparison operators. It's very simple, very easy, nothing complicated over here. Okay, so this is what I wanted to teach you for the comparison operator. Now guys, we will going to cover about the assignment operators. Okay, assignment operators. Okay, now what is the concept of it? So sometimes guys, we write, let's say, a number, let's say equals to, let's say 50. Now let's say I want to add some value to a. Let me first clear it up. Okay, now let's say I want to add, let's say 5. So I can create, let's say, a new variable. Let's say add 5 equals to, let's say, a plus, let's say 5. And let's say I can print, let's say add 5 like this. So what will going to happen? A value is 50 and 50 plus 5, it will be 55. If you run the application, you can see you got the answer 55. So guys, this method is, you know, sort of a old method, or I can say unprofessional method in Python. But with the help of assignment, okay, and same you can see even, let's say, if you go with the anything, okay, for example, let's say multiply, minus, or anything you want, okay. But the very professional way we have is that, let me just comment this line. Okay, now what is the modern method? Okay, so in modern method what we do is that we just write like this a. Okay, you can, by the way, either write like this a equals to, let's say 50 plus, let's say 5. And also even if you print it a, sorry, so still you will going to get 55. But this is something, you know, sort of unprofessional. Instead of this, we write it in a different way. For example, let's say I write here like this. Okay, a, and I want to write like this plus. You just do one thing, is that a plus equals to 5. That means you are saying that whatever value a has, okay, so a value is 50 plus add 5 here and give us the result. So still it will going to give you the same result, that is the 55. So this is the professional way to write the operators in Python, and this is what the assignment operator works. Okay, like plus equals to, minus equals to, multiply equals to, divide equals to, and so on. You can see the example. Let's say x equals to 10. Let's say you want to add 5 in the x, so you write like this x plus equals to 5, and the output will be 15. Let's say if you want to multiply, let's say x with, let's say 2, so you write it like this x multiply equals to 2, so 10 into 2, okay, you will going to get your, you know, response. For example, let's say we have here a value is 5. Now let's say I want it to, let's say minus. Okay, now let's say I want to subtract a with 5. Okay, so I will write like this a minus equals to 5. Okay, so if you just clear it up, so you all know 10 minus 5, you will going to get, you know, 45. 50 minus 5 is 45. Okay, same you can just do like this, multiply it. So you just do the same thing. You can see 250, because 50 into 5 has a 25 and 1 0, 250. Okay, like this. So this is how we work with the assignment operators in Python. Okay, very simple concept. It's just about how you write the operators in the professional way. Okay, nothing else. For example, let's say you can even write like this a, let's say equals to, let's say I want a to, let's say, multiply by 5. I can write like this. It will just going to give me the same output, which is 250. But we write it in more professional way. What we do is that we just remove all this thing here, and at the front of the equals to, we write the operator, and then it just gives the same result. So assignment operator is about writing the operators in the professional way. Okay, and that is what it is all about, assignment. And this is how the examples we have given you. Okay, and it will just going to give you the output over here. Okay, so hope this helps. Now guys, we will going to cover about, let's say, logical operators. Okay, so what is the logical operator? So guys, logical operator will going to give you the response. Okay, even if you just tap on the top, you can see here we have put all the things, let's say logical operators, and it will take you to the logical operators. Now what is this? So guys, it will basically going to operate in and or not. Okay, and or not. Now how it will going to work? It will always going to give you the response in true and false. Okay, like the previous case. Okay, in the case where here in the comparison one. But this is how it will going to work. The logical operators will going to operate in three cases: and or not, and it will going to give you the response in true and false. Now how it works? So suppose we have for two conditions. Let's say condition can be anything, condition 1, and let's say condition 2. Okay, so if the condition will only be true in the case of and. Okay, I'm talking currently about and. Okay, and operator. So when we have a condition 1 and condition 2, so here if condition 1 is also true and condition 2 is also true, then only it will give the output as a true. Otherwise, let's say if even one condition will going to get false. For example, let's say if condition 1 will be true and let's say condition 2 will be false, so ultimate the result will be considered as a false. And let's say now condition 1 is, let's say, false, and let's say condition 2 is true, still it will show you false. And still if let's say condition 1 and condition 2 both are false, so it will going to give you the result as a false. So when we use AND operator, so it will only going to show true when condition 1 and condition 2, or it could be condition 3 and condition 4, whatever the conditions are. If all the conditions will be true, then only the end output will be considered as a true. Otherwise, in all other cases, it will be false. Now in the case of a or, because we have taught you that in the logical operators we only operate with and or not. Okay, so and we have discussed. Okay, I will show you with the practical examples as well, do not worry. And when we are talking about logical operator or, so here if any one condition is true, then the result will be true. For example, here you can see in condition 1 is true, and let's say condition 2 is also true, so the result will be true. And let's say here condition 1 is true but condition 2 is false, so the result will also be considered as a true, because in the or logical either one condition is true, so ultimate the main total output will be considered as a positive, that is the true. So currently we have taken condition 1, 2, or it could be condition 3, 4. But if any one condition will be true, so output will be at the end will be true. And let's say if condition 1 is false and let's say condition 2 is true, so it will be true. And in the condition of a logical condition of a or, it will only be false when all the condition will be false. For example, here you can say condition 1 is false, condition 2 is also false, so then only it will going to give you the output as a false. And in the logical one, what happen is that let's say if condition 1 will, let's say if true, so ultimate whatever the answer will be, it will just going to reverse the result. For example, when we use not, so let's say if the total output should be true, so it will going to reverse it and it will going to give you the false. Okay, for example, let's say if condition 1 is true, so if you apply not in the condition 1, okay, so it will just going to reverse it, so it will going to be opposite of true, that is the false. And let's say if condition 1 is, let's say, false, okay, and let's say if condition 1 and in the front of condition 1 you use not, so it will going to opposite it, for example false will become true. So this is something we have here is known as logical operators, something very important concept. Let's go with the examples. Okay, for example, let's say if I create a variable, let's say age, and let's say age variable is 18. For example, age equals to 18, and let's say is a student. I create a new variable, is the particular student. The student can be either true or false. Okay, that means age 18 and is student true. Now let's create condition. For example, let's say I write here like print. Okay, let's say I want to add one condition where I want to say that age 1, that means age should be greater than 17. So this is the first condition I added, that the age should be greater than 17. And another condition I added is, let's say age student should be, let's say, true. Okay, now what I am trying to do here is that if you will going to notice here, age is 18. Okay, age student is true. Now here two condition I added, that age should be greater than 17 and he should be the student, and here I am using AND operator. Okay, now if you clear it up, so here what will going to happen in the AND condition, I taught you that when we use AND, so here both the condition should be true, then only the AND result will be true. So here I can see that age should be greater than 17, this should be the condition, and I can see that age is 18, so which is true but obvious. Okay, and he is also a student is true. Now if you result click here and run the application, it will show true, because here our age is also greater than 17 and also the student is true, so the result is true. Okay, and let's say if I say that the age should be, let's say greater than 70, let's say this time I put, let's say age as 12, so this time it will show false, because here what should happen, both the conditions should be true. Okay, now what is happening, we have set the condition that age should be greater than 17, but here right now the age is 12, which is smaller than 17, so the first condition got false and second condition is true. And I told you that if the first condition is false and the second condition is true, so the result will be false, and this is what you can see, the end result is false. But earlier what was happening, when we have, let's say 18, so here the condition 1 was also true, condition 2 was also true, so condition 1 was also true, condition 2 was also true, so the result was true, and that is what we have got earlier, right? So this is something and condition. Okay, and let's say if we just go ahead with the or condition. So for example, let's say if I say here, let's say or. Okay, instead of this I say here or. Now let's see the difference here. So I have mentioned either one of the condition will be true, so ultimately the result will be true. So let's say here it will show true because both condition are true, and as I have mentioned, if both the condition will be true, so the result will be true. And let's say if I say, let's say age is, let's say if I put 12, so I know that the first condition should be age should be greater than 17, but age is 12. So the first condition is basically false and the second condition is true, because is student is true, right? So here, even though one condition is false but one condition is true, and we are using or. So or basically says that even if one condition is true, so the end result will be true even though the first condition is false. Okay, because age is 12 but it should be greater than 17, but the actual age is 12, which is smaller than 17, so the result is false. But the second condition was true, so ultimately the result will be true, because in the condition of a or, we have to note that both the condition should be true, or if condition 1 or condition 2, either both of the one condition should be true, then also the result will be true. In the logical or, it will only be false when both of the condition will be false. So for example, let's say here first condition is false, and let's say if I say here the student, let's say false. Okay, now it will show false because here you can see both the condition are false. Age is also less than 17 and also the student is false, and we are using or. So or says that if both the condition is false, then only the result will be false, and this is what you can see over here, right? Very simple. Now let's say if I go ahead and let's say if I put here, let's say we have age is greater than 17. Okay, now let me just show you. Now for example, let's say we have said that age is greater than 17, this is what we want, but age is 12, so it will show you what? False, because age should be greater than 17, but the actual age is 12, which is of course less than 17, so that the result we have got is false. Now let's say if you add not, okay, for example, let's say if you just add and here also you can see if you just add not, okay, so you will just going to get the opposite result, for example not, okay, so it will just going to make it true, okay, so earlier it was false, it will make it true, so not will basically going to reverse the result, okay, so earlier if you are getting false, so now if you use not, so it will just going to reverse the result and you will going to get the true. So this is something we have is known as logical operators, and I suppose you guys have understood what logical operator is all about in Python, okay. Now guys, we will going to discuss about identity and membership operator. It's very simple and easy, okay. For example, we have is and in, okay, so is will going to make the object same, okay, in the memory, or in will help you to know whether the value is exist inside the list or not, okay. So let's create a new variable. Let's say if I just go ahead and let's say if I create membership.py, okay. Now let's say I have one value, and let's say inside a we have a value, uh, uh, let's say uh, um, 1 2 3 4, let's say 5, okay, something like this. Now you all have understood the basic meaning, okay. Let's say if I say uh, let's say if I say xy equals to 5, okay, so if xy is equals to 5, so that is the basic meaning, okay. So let's say if y cube equals to 5. Now we all have understood that if two values are equal, for example if xy equals to 5 and also yq is equals to 5, we shows that xy is also equals to y cube, because both of the values are equal with each other, okay. So this is where this concept of identity helps you, okay. So let's say if I say like this, let's say if I say that b equals to a. Now what I am trying to say is that whatever value you have inside a, like a equals a have this particular list, so I also said that b equals to a. That means now even if you print, let's say b, okay, let's first clear it up, and if you run the application you can see it will going to print the same thing, because we have said that if a is this a equals to this value, okay, this particular list, so we have also said that b is also equals to a. So ultimately whatever the value a has, so that will also be equals to b. So that's why when I print b, so it has printed this for us, right? That is what it is, and not is just opposite of it. And now let's focus more on in. So in is like, let's say if you want something, let's say if I say, let's say uh, if I want if I say like fruits equals to, let's say in the list, let's say if I say apple, let's say comma banana comma, let's say cherry, okay. Now let's say if I say print, let's say I want to know that is apple is available in the fruits list or not, okay. So I'm saying is apple available in the fruit list or not, so it will just going to give you the response in true or false. Let's say true, because we all know that apple is available in this fruit list. That's the reason it has said true. And let's say if I say, let's say uh, let's say grapes, is grapes available in fruits? So answer will be false, because grapes is not available in the list of fruits. So that is what it is known as the membership operators, okay. So it basically helps you to check whether any particular value is exist in particular list or not. Same with the string. For example, let's say if I say name equals to, let's say, Kunal. My name is what? Kunal. Now let's say if I can write like this, print, let's say I can say like, is you in name. If I run it, you can see it says true, because you can see you is available in the string Kunal. Okay, here you can see you like that. So this is what the membership operator is all about. Okay, now guys, the last concept we have here is the operator precedence. Okay, by the way, if you see, we have covered each and everything. So in our blog article you will see all the notes here, so make sure that you explore all of them. So now we will going to discuss about the operator precedence. Okay, now what is this concept? So you might have heard about BODMAS in mathematics, maybe when you are children. So what we do is that we follow this particular part where we say that first we will going to solve border, and then after border, we will going to solve brackets, then divisions, then multiplication, then addition, and then subtraction, right? So similarly in Python we have PEMDAS, PEMDAS. Okay, so here what happen is that Python says that first, if you have parentheses, okay, brackets, so the brackets will be solved first. For example, let's say here we have this particular result. So here what will going to happen first, whatever will be inside the brackets, that will be solved. So 3 plus 2 will be 5. Then 5 multiplied by 4, 5 4s are 20. So this is the answer we have got. So Python says that the very first you will have to solve is the brackets. Okay, then after bracket, Python says you have to solve the power. Okay, which says that we say it like exponentials. Okay, so the brackets will be solved first. So 2 to the power 3, that is the 8. And after that we have a multiplication division. Okay, so for example here we have this case. So Python says first multiplication will be solved. So 3 plus 3 into 2 will be 6. Okay, then 10 divided by 6 will be something, I guess this. So first multiplication, then division, and after that we have the addition and subtraction. So first will be the addition. So 2 plus 1 will be 3, and then subtraction. So after 10 minus 2 plus 1 3, so 10 minus okay 3 will be something this one. Okay, so that is what it is. But we also have one thing which you want to notice, that in multiplication and division and addition and subtraction, it always evaluated from left to right depending on whatever comes first. So for example here in this case you can see in multiplication and division we have here something which is this one. Okay, so here what's happening is that, for example, let's say we have here 10 divided by 2. So Python says that multiplication and division could be the first, but it will be always from the left to right. Okay, so you can see in the left we have division first. So 10 divided by 2 is 5, then 5 into 3 is the 15. So that is the reason you will going to get the answer here. And similarly in the addition and subtraction, it will going to solve from the left to right. So first 10 minus 2 will be 8. Okay, and 8 plus 1 will be 9. So this is the rule you have to follow in the multiplication, division, addition and subtraction. It will be always from the left to right. Okay, so this is how Python system works. Okay, so first it will go with the parentheses, then power, then multiplication, division, then addition and subtraction. But in the case of multiplication, division, addition and subtraction, it will go from left to right. So for example, I created one file, let's say precedence here, and here I have put one operations inside the variable result. Now here what will going to happen? First the bracket will be solved, because that is what Python says, that the first whatever inside the brackets will be solved. So 4 to the power 2, you will going to get 16, because 4 2 times, so 4 into 4 is the 16, 4 4 is the 16. Okay, and after the 16 then what will be solved, you can see here if there will be power, that. So we have already done that. Brackets and power, they are already solved. And then we have a multiplication and division. So where is multiplication and division? So you can see here we have the multiplication. Okay, so this part. So 16, that's 16, 4 to the power 2, the 16. So there's 16 and 2. So 2 into 16, you will going to get 32. And then we have mentioned we have addition and subtraction. So it will always be from the left to right. So 3 plus whatever the result, you will going to get 32, 35, and then minus 1. This is how result will going to run. Even if you run it, so this is how you will going to get it, right? So this is how the concept works. Okay, in the Python, uh, it will always move in some format. Okay, and the format is PEMDAS. Always remember, first will be the brackets, after brackets your power. Then in the case of multiplication division, it will go left to right, but it will always be solved first as compared to addition and subtraction. Okay, so if there is some situation like multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, so first it will going to prefer multiplication, division, but it will see whatever will be in the left first. Okay, so so here you can see, in this case, the first we have division in the left, so the division will be solved first, then the multiplication. Okay, and same goes with the addition and subtraction, and it will be always solved at very last. So hope you guys have somehow understood the concept here which we have taught you. It's very simple, nothing complicated over here, and this is the concept of PEMDAS in the uh, you know uh, operators in the Python. And by the way, if you go to the top, you can always just go ahead and proceed and see whatever we have covered, like floor division. You can see floor division concept we have written in the form of a notes, which you can prefer. Okay, always same for the other concepts like power operator. This is how power operator works, which we say as the exponential. Okay, and if you just go up, and then we have here comparison, assignment. So each and everything we have covered, so make sure that you prefer the notes. It will really going to help you out. Okay, this is what I want to tell you over here, guys. Okay, now guys, we will go ahead and tell you what you have to do next. So you all know that this was the part 2. Okay, so the part 3 will be after some time it will be uploaded. Okay, so make sure you always check the blog, okay, to continue this course. Okay, by the way, you can just watch it from my profile, or you can just go to my particular blog. Here we have attached the full video like we have done for the basics. Okay, it is a complete video of 1 hour 23, and same we will going to do in the operators. Okay, for this course we will going to make a complete video of the operators, and we will going to upload here for the operators to over here. Okay, with at the top in the operators section over here. Okay, something over here. And then same for the part 3, make sure that you always check this blog article. You will basically be able to watch all the tutorials at a same blog, and you can learn to code Python very easily. Okay, and guys, the last thing is that as we will going to learn to code Python, it is also very much important for you all to practice uh, plenty of things. So we have something created for you. If you click on the library at the top, you will be able to come to our library. And this library contains, like in the developer kit, you can see we have a creative prompt, we have a video editing resource, and plenty of things. So the very important is the developer kit, where we have attached lots of practical examples. So if you learn the Python, so after that you require to learn uh, practically, right? So for that we have put lots of project. Okay, like 200 plus Python plus project. Okay, 100 plus Python interview questions. If you actually follow these interview questions, you will going to crack any interview very easily. Okay, and similarly we have 100 plus VS short codes, 150 plus machine learning projects, and plenty of other things as you can explore over here, which is very great and amazing. Okay, so make sure that you guys just go ahead and follow this developer kit. It's a very affordable price. You can see just $4.23 one-time payment. We will going to give you the lifetime access, and whatever we will going to add in the future, you will going to get absolutely for free for lifetime as well. Okay, so make sure it's a very great deal. You can just come to our site and explore it. And by the way, if you go to the courses, we also have plenty of amazing courses which we have added in our collection. Suppose if you just search for Python. Okay, so we have the Python Pro courses as well, like Python programming with Chat GPT. Okay, so you will going to see it's a complete 15 hours course where we have covered each and everything. Okay, so this is just the beginners course which you are watching right now, but if you actually want to take your Python skills to the very next level, this is the course you need to watch. Okay, the best course I have created ever on my site, but this course is available in the membership. You can just go to pricing, click on get membership, and here you can check the membership prices. We have a 2 membership plan. You can just proceed further, and in case if you want to get 50% discount in the lifetime plan, you can watch this video, and this video will also going to guide you how to get our membership. It's like you purchase in the e-commerce website, but we still recommend students to watch this video. Okay, but make sure that how amazing our website is, full of skills you will really going to love. And also it's not only about the membership, you can also see in the free course we have lot many amazing courses, from Microsoft Power BI to Tableau course, Canva course, Google Analytics course, DeepSeek course, and we have lot many collections. Okay, in our website for the free courses as well. So even you can take advantage of the free courses as well. So make sure that visit our website, explore our website. You will really going to find it valuable. Okay.